Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and lock your doors. You have entered the world of the unknown. Welcome to the Dead Hour broadcast. Tanveer found a surprisingly cheap apartment in old Dhaka. It was spacious and vintage, but the landlord had one strict rule: never open the small wooden door at the end of the hallway. Tanveer agreed, thinking it was just storage, but the first night he couldn't sleep. From that locked room, he heard a soft, rhythmic scratching sound. Scritch, 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 like nails on wood. The next night, the sound was louder. Overcome by curiosity, Tanveer crept down the hallway. He knelt and put one eye to the old-fashioned keyhole. He expected to see darkness. Instead, he saw a bright white light filling the room. It was strange, but he assumed the previous tenant had left a lamp on. The third night, the scratching turned into a low weeping. Terrified but compelled, Tanveer looked through the keyhole again. This time, he couldn't see the white light. He saw nothing but red. A deep, dull red color blocked the entire view. He figured the tenant must have draped a red cloth over the keyhole to stop him from peeping. The next morning, he met the landlord on the stairs. "Did you sleep well?" the old man asked, eyeing him suspiciously. "Yes," Tanveer lied. "But about that room, who lived there before?" The landlord sighed. "My daughter. She was a lovely girl, very pale, with skin as white as marble." He paused, his voice dropping to a whisper. "But she had a terrible condition. Her eyes were completely blood red." Tanveer froze. He realized the room hadn't been covered by a red cloth the night before. She was standing right against the door, looking back at him. The fog on the Dhaka-Chittagong highway was so thick that the headlights of Rafiq's truck could barely cut through it. It was 2 a.m. The road was eerily empty, save for the rhythmic rumbling of his engine. Rafiq had been driving trucks for 15 years, but tonight felt different. The air inside the cabin felt heavy, almost suffocating. Just before the Comilla bridge, he saw a man standing by the roadside, waving frantically. Rafiq usually didn't pick up hitchhikers at night, but something about the man's desperate posture made him stop. The stranger climbed in. He was soaking wet, though it hadn't rained for days. He smelled strongly of wet earth and rotting flowers. "Where to?" Rafiq asked, unease settling in his stomach. "Just across the bridge, to the old graveyard," the man whispered. His voice sounded like dry leaves crushing together. They drove in silence. Rafiq glanced at the rear-view mirror. The man was staring straight ahead, his eyes wide and unblinking. His skin was pale, almost bluish under the dashboard lights. "Do you know what day it is?" the passenger asked suddenly. "It's November 14th, Rafiq replied. The man let out a chilling laugh. 5 years ago, on November 14th, a truck lost control on this bridge. The driver fell asleep." Rafiq's hands tightened on the steering wheel. He remembered that accident. A man had been crushed to death while walking home. "I was walking home to my daughter," the passenger continued, his voice turning into a growl. "I never made it." Rafiq slam-braked as the truck screeched to a halt right in the middle of the bridge. His heart was pounding against his ribs. He turned to look at the passenger seat. It was empty. There was no one there, but on the seat was a puddle of muddy water. and a piece of a torn, blood-stained shirt. The smell of rotting flowers was now overpowering. Rafiq looked at the windshield. On the foggy glass, written from the inside, were the words, "Don't fall asleep." Rafiq didn't sleep for the next 3 days. He knew he never would again.
The story ends here, but the fear remains. If you want to survive the night, hit that subscribe button. And remember, don't look under your bed tonight.